All right, so we're going to have a quiz tomorrow over the unit circle. I'm going to give you a blank one. You're going to have to fill it in. We're going to do some stuff today that's going to help us on some other we have to do on the unit circle. So we're going to back up and we're going to talk about just some right triangle. If I'm just doing right, use the Pythagorean theorem to find R. So when we do the unit circle, the radius of the unit circle is always 1, because it's a unit circle, 1 unit. So this would be x squared plus y squared equals 1. But if we don't know the radius, then we have to find it. What did we say the sign value was? Was it the x or the y value? This is y over r, because we don't know the r. On the unit circle, it's y, because the r is equal to 1. It was our x value. It was x over r. And the cosine, our inverses of the sine cosine for x over y. Tangent is y over x. And the cotangent is the inverse, which is x over y. And negative 12 is terminal in standard form. So that's a lot of words. So if it's 9, it's over 9. And negative 12, there's the triangle. And that's my R. So to find the R, it's a right triangle now. 9 squared is 1. So my R is 18, x is 9, and my y is 12. So if those are my values over R, so the y over r would be negative 12 over 15, and when you reduce that, would be negative 4 over 5. So if that's the sine, how do I get the cosecant? Is it something brand new? Just flip it, right? So I'm going to do negative 5 over 4. So the cosine is my x value. And we would flip the secant. Is y over x. And the cotangent we would flip. Like the x is negative, so this is negative 6, and the y is negative, so this is negative 2, so there's my triangle. Pythagorean theorem, do this. So 40 is 4 times 10. So the square root of 4 is 2. So it's 2 square roots of 10. So the sine of theta now. So if my r is x is negative 6 and my y is negative 2. So the sine is y over r is negative 2 over the square root of 10. So what happens? The 2's cancel. I have -1. See you tomorrow. So, can I have a square root on the bottom? No? What do I do? Multiply the top and the bottom by the square root. So I get negative square root of 10 over 10. So what did we say we do with the cosecant? So if I flip this, what happens? I have a square root on the bottom. Do I want a square root on the bottom? What if I flip this one? Then what's my answer? So then it's just 10, right? Negative. So let me show you why this works. If I take this and I take negative square root of 10 over 10 and I flip it, and the 10s cancel out, and I end up with exactly what I started with. Okay? So if you want to do that, you're going to get the right answer. It's just a lot of extra work. So if you flip this one before you rationalize it, it'll save you work. So the cosine is going to be -6 over 2 square root of 10. So if I give 6 over 2 square root of 10, this reduces to -3 over. Can I have the square root of 10 on the bottom? Nope. So if I do this, and then which one do I want to flip? I want to flip the one just before I rationalize it. So if I do that, the square root of 10 goes to the top. So the tangent is going to be y over x. So 2 over -6, which is positive 1/3. Questions on that? Okay. We are absolutely not done. I did come and work on it last night, and so at least I don't have to, yeah, handwriting. I mean, my handwriting is bad anyway. I know. I don't care. I don't care. They're not here. They should be here to listen. But this makes my handwriting bad even worse. The next thing I want to do is I want to talk about where the functions are positive. Where the functions are positive. We have 4 quadrants. We have 4 quadrants. So in the first quadrant, the x is positive and the y is positive. So it doesn't matter what combination you do. In the second quadrant, what's positive, x or y? Y. The sides are y. In the third quadrant, what's positive? Not x and not y, correct? They're both negative. What are you doing? I'm giving notes and you're back there digging through your folder. Okay, we're looking later. Yeah. I don't know. That, right. Put that away and write. I know what you're saying. I got it. I understood what you were telling me. I'm saying right. Yeah. Okay. So what's going to, if the x and the y are both negative, correct. And what's positive in the fourth quadrant? The ASTC, all students take calculus, okay? That'll give you what. So it's the sign here. What's the inverse? So that'll also be positive there. Positive. Okay. I know this is going to be a challenge, but you're actually going to have to think for a moment. If cosine of theta is positive, so first of all, the r is always positive. So over r. The r is always positive. And is positive. What two quadrants can I be in and have a positive cosine? Correct. Because the x's are positive here, right? If the x's are positive, then you can be in either one of these. So if the tangent of theta is less than 0, so the tangent is y over x. Y over x. What has to be true if the tangent is negative? Can both the x and the y be positive? If I have an x and a y that are positive, is that less than 0? No, they're both positive, so it's a no. So it can't be here. What happens if they're both negative? What's a negative divided by negative? So can I be in that quadrant? No. So I can't be in these two quadrants, but I can be in these. And the reason that is true, the reason that makes it negative, and one negative, I get a negative tangent. One positive, negative. Question? If you correct me as I go, that'll be easier. The pen sucks, y'all. I'm not going to delete it. They're absent. All right, so what two quadrants am I in? I'm in here and here. So secant is less than 0. So turn your paper over. What is secant equal to? R over x. Is positive. What's going to make the secant negative when x is negative? What two quadrants is x negative in? Okay, sine is less than 0. R. So if sine is less than 0, what has to be true about the y value? Where is y negative? 3 and 4. Next, Cotangent is positive. So I know that I'm either in 3 or 4. But the cotangent, which is going to be x over y, has to be greater than 0. It has to be greater than 0. So if y is negative, what does x have to be? Well, if x is positive, cotangent is negative. It has to be negative, right? Because the negative divided by negative is the only way to make it positive. So the x, where's my x going to be? Negative 3. So it has to be 3.